Welcome to the Island Shuffle.
We're your favorite folks to talk about a show. Any show. We could talk about any show if we wanted to.
Sometimes we do talk about things that aren't the show Lost.
That's true. It's rare.
For the most part, it's mostly just the show Lost.
It's mostly just the show Lost.
Most of the time.
Usually and most of the time, and kind of all of the time, it's the show Lost.
Every day we watch, every day, a new episode of Lost in a random order devised by random.org.
We pluck it from the ether of randomness and we say it's
static noise.
It's this one today, this week, and we go, this makes no connection with last week.
No, exactly. And this week we have a brand new episode for you all. It is
once again
Season 5, Episode 5.
Whoa.
It's titled This Place is Death.
That's what it's called. And guess what? It's fine. It's all right.
And guess what? It's fine.
It's fine. Like much of late period Lost, it is sometimes fine.
Yeah, it's like very 6.5 out of 10 television.
Yeah.
There's some good moments. There's some stuff that you don't care about.
Yeah.
But this episode focuses on Sun and Jin, purportedly.
It sure does.
And it's interesting, I guess. There's not really any real flashback, flash-forward structure because we're currently, like, traveling through time.
Exactly. We focus on the lads on the island who are hurtling through time, and then we focus on the lads who have escaped from the island who are currently on a quest to go to a church or something.
Yeah, they want to go to a church, but first they got to meet at the docks.
They want to go to they got to go to the docks before they go to mass.
Yeah.
And then praise their favorite god.
The island. The Island Shuffle.
The Island Shuffle. Us.
So what do you want to tackle first? Should we tackle on island or off island?
I kind of feel like on island's the real meat and potatoes.
On island is the real meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it's the real bread and butter, the real
mustard. Well, then where do we begin here with Jin?
We do begin with Jin. Jin is hanging out with a lady named Danielle Rousseau.
Yeah, his new friend.
His new best friend. But this isn't the the baby-stealing Danielle Rousseau that we know and love.
This is a baby-carrying Danielle Rousseau.
Exactly.
She is with child.
She is of child.
She is of child. Danielle Rousseau, you know, of child.
Of child. You know her of child.
Child.
So it's the 80s, and Danielle Rousseau's expedition has just crashed on the island. Everyone's young and handsome and French, and they're all talking French, and they rescued Jin from the ocean, and they're all like, where the heck did this guy come from? And boy, oh boy, Jin is just confused.
He's like, who are you? And Danielle Rousseau's like, I'm Danielle Rousseau.
And Jin's like, no, you're not. You're young and pregnant. Not like Danielle Rousseau at all.
Then she's like, it's 1988, foo.
And then Jin goes, what the heck?
Boing.
It's 2004 last I checked.
How did 16 years pass by in an instant?
In an instant and in the wrong direction.
In the blink of an eye.
In the blink of an eye.
But then he's like, you know what? Let's just walk through the woods.
Let's just roll with the punches.
I guess they have on the radio, the French people,
yes.
Rousseau and gang, they have received the transmission that it's just casting out 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
Yes.
So they want to find the tower because if they find the tower, they might find civilization.
Exactly. And then Jin decides to tag along because they end up saying, like, Jin's like, I got to find my camp. I got to find my people. But he doesn't know how to get to his people from here.
No, he doesn't know shit.
But he knows how to get to the radio tower.
Yes.
So from the radio tower, he can get to the people. That's the logic, anyway.
Uh-huh.
So they start trekking through the jungle, and Rousseau's all like, oh, I'm going to name my baby Alex. And Alex is going to be a
sweet
girl.
And foreshadowing. More like backshadowing, because we know this BS already.
Kind of backshadowing.
Backshadowing.
Backshadowing is a powerful
I guess just
literature.
shadowing?
Just shadows. Just normal
shadows. This is a shadow from a plot point that was earlier revealed.
Yes.
So it's not a surprise. We're not learning any surprises.
No,
here.
We wouldn't be learning any surprises even if we were watching the show forwards ways.
Which is surprising.
Ways. Yeah, this is just a regular thing that we know.
Uh-huh.
And they reestablish like, hey, it's her. She's having a baby.
She's having a baby, and here we are in 1988.
It's 1988, and it's baby time.
And you know what we do in 1988? We walk into the woods.
And then we lose one of our boat people.
They disappear.
And then along we go and they all realize that someone's missing. They're looking around, and then a corpse falls from the sky. Oh no!
Oh, that's never a good sign.
And they're like, she's dead. Oh my God, what could have done this to her? and they hear like crickety crickety oo tick 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 tick, and they all decide to go have some fun with this crazy noise.
Yeah, they want to go hang out with old Smokey.
Old Smokey's
and man,
here.
do they ever.
They sure do.
Smokey comes out and he steals one of them.
Steals one of them, and they've got him. They yank him away, but they manage to hold on to him by the arm. And they're like, "Oh my gosh, we've got you!" But he's dragging him down a hole, and then poop, off comes the arm.
Which is really incredible to me. Not that the arm got ripped off, and not that the smoke monster just did that, but that. There was it was one person holding on to him, and that person's grip is so strong that they could rip an arm right off of the flesh.
You know what? I would not fuck with that guy at all.
Yeah, I would have let go. It would have slipped out of my hands. The arm would have stayed on.
Yes, it would have stayed on the man. The rest of the whole man would have gone with the smoke monster.
The whole man would be gone, but here at least they had an arm, and they were wagging it around. See, we still have some of our friends.
We got some of them. Yeah. We can plant them in the ground and grow another one.
Yeah, they put a badminton racket in the hand of the arm, and they use that to play badminton.
Yeah, they do. I mean, really, they're all freaked out. They're all handling this not like prop comedians.
And
they're handling it like humans.
Is see ya.
Yeah. No, what happens is they all decide. No, here's what happens. The guy ends up calling out from the hole I'm fine. The monster left.
Yeah.
Come down.
Yeah, this is what happens.
Come on in. And they're all like, we got to go in after him. Jin's like, no, guys, you can't. It's definitely obviously a trap. But they're all like, whatever, bozo. We're all going in, all of us, except for Danielle. Danielle stays behind because she's pregnant. And then after they've all gone into the hole, before we learn their fates, the island starts winding up its fucking light machine.
Flashing the lights.
And then Jin's like, what the heck? And then blink, Jin's gone through time.
And the hole is gone.
The hole's gone.
And things seem greener or something. But there's a mummified arm.
Yes.
Beside his feet.
And it's gross looking.
To show that a lot of time has passed.
And then Jin's kind of wandering through, and Jin goes to the beach and finds a couple decomposing bodies.
Oh, yeah. Well, Jin goes to the beach because he sees this giant smoke signal.
Yes, that's right.
This giant, it's going 200 feet up in the air. Then whenever he gets to it, it's a campfire.
It's just a little campfire that has basically gone out.
I have seen campfires before.
Yes. I've seen huge campfires that would not leave such a plume of smoke.
No. So that was really impressive, in my opinion.
For sure, for sure.
But it's smelly over there, and there's flies.
It's smelly and there's flies, and the reason is because of corpses. A couple of them. We think that they're just chilling in the sun, taking a day off.
I wanna chill in the sun. Wanna take a day off
and
decompose.
That's what the lads who are decomposing would sing if they could sing. Instead, they decompose. And over yonder is Danielle and Danielle's boyfriend. And Danielle is aiming a gun at his boyfriend.
What is his name, Raniel or something?
I think it's Maniel.
Maniel. Danielle and Maniel.
Danielle and Maniel. And Maniel's like, no, please put the gun down, honey. And Daniel's like, no, the monster took you. You're not the same. You're sick now. You're different.
And he's like, I was always sick.
I was always fucking sick,
yeah.
Dude. You ever seen my skateboard trick comps?
420.
You ever seen me fucking do a cool vape cloud? You know I'm sick.
Next thing you're going to say, I'm lit, honey.
The monster changed you. You're lit now.
You're lit now.
The monster changed you. You're sick as hell.
Yeah.
If the monster just takes you and turns you into a real party hound.
That'd be cool.
That would
be a great monster.
That would be a fantastic monster.
I feel like the monster would be drugs.
The monster, I mean, the real monster? Drugs, dude.
Drugs. But Rousseau's pointing the gun, and he's like, put it down. So then she does. She's not crazy.
She's like, oh, my gosh.
Oh,
But.
The thing that weirded me out through this whole scene is she is still pregnant.
She's still pregnant.
It was established before that she was 7 months pregnant when Jin first met them.
Yes.
But so the hand had mummified in no more than a month and a half.
Yeah.
It had completely mummified.
Yes.
Which I thought was interesting.
I am not an expert on the decomposition of severed limbs, But
Which
I definitely
sort
got
of
the
thought you were going into this.
yeah. I mean, I know I claim to be
On
all
your
the time.
LinkedIn, it says that's the first thing.
I know that's my job, but I'm a fraud. Fake it till
we
you make
will
it,
not
baby.
upload this episode. Don't worry.
Yes, please edit all of that
Your
out.
secret is safe with me as long as you help me with a couple severed limbs I have lying around my back. I know you're not an expert, but
Well, I'll do my best, but I'm probably gonna fuck it up,
yeah,
as I do constantly.
Probably won't do.
As I
very
constantly do at my job.
well. Yeah, I guess so. It's been like a month since I cut them off, so they should have mummified by now, anyways.
You know, I guess so. If this episode is anything to be believed, but you really shouldn't look to me. I don't know fucking dick all about
Good to know.
severed limbs. So
Russo puts down the gun.
Russo puts down the gun, and Manuel says, "Haha, you fool," and raises his gun. And then click, and then guess what? It was a fake gun or something. It was a paper gun.
Didn't work. Guns never work whenever you point them at an important character in a show or movie.
It's true.
The guns always malfunction.
The script says the script is mightier. The pen is mightier than the gun because the pen says when the gun goes off.
Exactly.
At least in fiction. In real life.
In real life, if you have a pen and they have a gun, I would give them the pen.
I'd at the very least give them the pen.
Yeah.
So
if it was a sword, it's a very different story.
So Danielle domes Manuel, and without hesitation. And then Danielle spots Jin and is like, "You disappeared in front of my eyes. You're definitely part of the monster too. So I'm just gonna open fire on you."
And she misses a bunch.
She misses a bunch, but she did also just murder her ex, I guess.
Yeah.
So you know. Anyways, Jin runs off, and then more flashes happen, and Jin's gone.
Yeah.
I like that sequence.
It was cool.
It's a fun little, it's a kind of rush, but it's a fun way to explore that part of Danielle's crew, which we never get to see ever again, basically. And also, you get some fun monster shenanigans. The arm ripping off, I remember, shocked me at the time. It still kind of caught me off guard. It was like, whoa, shit.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, all right, you got me. Smokey at it again, huh?
Yeah, Smokey disarmed him.
Now that's interesting and a funny one too.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, thanks for the joke. Funny jokes.
Then what happens? He
finds Sawyer and their friends.
Okay, yeah. The lights flash and Sawyer and the friends are there.
Yeah, Sawyer and friends are there, and Sawyer's like, "Jin, I love you, dude," and gives him a big hug, and they're like, "Ha ha, yeah, baby." And Jin's like, "Oh, my friends, except for my wife isn't here, and
where's
now
my wife?
My friggin' wife." And
I don't know where my wife is.
Where's my wife?
Where'd you put my wife?
Sawyer, where'd you hide my wife?
This isn't funny, Sawyer. Give me my wife back.
Sawyer's always pulling pranks on me, making me think my wife is gone. Hiding my wife under a blanket or behind a tree or something. Well, where is she?
My wife under a blanket, or behind a tree, or in a different time.
In the future.
Sawyer.
I don't know why we made Jin sound like fucking Jimmy Stewart.
I like it a lot.
Now see here,
my
Sawyer.
wife. Where did she go?
Where's my wife? Oh, I miss her so.
And then what happens? They talk.
They kind of get Jin caught up to speed. They're like, so we're hurtling through time. We don't know what's up. It's a whole to do.
We gotta go to the orchid.
Charlotte speaks Korean now for some reason.
Yeah, because someone needed to.
And Charlotte translates for Locke, and Locke is like, "We're going to the orchid because that's how to stop this. I think probably." And so that's where the crew is headed now. The new goal: get to the orchid or die trying.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. Boop
bum,
boop.
Bum.
So now Jin is hanging out with the time travelers, and he's like, "I love to travel through time." But guess what? Does he love to travel through time 2 times in a row? Guess what? It happens twice in a row.
It happens so many times.
It happens a lot in this episode, and every time it gets more and more disorienting, and it's happening harder and faster, and people are starting to have nosebleeds.
Yeah, Charlotte gets a really bad nosebleed, and she's like, "I'm so tired, I'm going to fall on the ground."
You ever get so tired that you fall on the ground?
Yes.
Constantly, right?
Every night.
Please tell me. The last time you got so tired that you fell on the ground.
Last night.
The
ground of the bed.
The ground of the bed.
I guess sometimes in the summer, if you're running around in the park, and then you're very tired, and then I guess I lay on the ground.
Yeah,
I don't really fall.
I usually make a deliberate choice to sit and then lay on the ground if I'm feeling exhausted. If my body's not feeling it.
But that's good enough for me.
That's plenty.
I don't need to fall on the ground.
I think falling is just so dramatic.
Charlotte is a show off here.
Yeah,
and that was really my only issue with the episode.
Yeah, Charlotte is just like, hey guys, check this shit out.
Oh, I'm so important. I'm dying.
Oh, I'm dying. So Charlotte, while everybody's kind of having small nosebleeds, Charlotte is like fully like bleeding a bunch.
She has to one up everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Just come on, we get it. Charlotte is having a rough go, and she's also like disoriented and like she's basically like being like hurtled through time like Desmond style. And she's saying stuff that doesn't make sense to anybody. And everybody's like, all right, we got to go. It's time to go. And Charlotte's like, you can leave me behind. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. And then, but Jin leaves, and Charlotte starts talking in Korean to Jin in panic. And then everyone's like, what'd she say? And Charlotte just repeats herself in English and says...
Which is weird.
Which is,
that weirded me out a bit.
It's weird. Why not just subtitle it?
Yeah.
In the first place? And she says, no matter what you do, don't bring Sun back here. This place is death, which is the title of the episode.
And that was cool.
That was cool. That's always cool. Whenever they say the title of the episode, I always go, oh, now I get it. When they don't, I get so frustrated and I run up the walls and run on the ceiling and go, why did they do this to me?
I like it whenever in a movie they say the title of the movie.
Ooh.
I love that. That's always my favorite part of the movie.
That's just really cool. My favorite part of Titanic is when the guy at the front of the boat says, all aboard the Titanic. And the whole audience stands up and applauds.
My favorite in the March of the Penguins is whenever Morgan Freeman is like, the March of the Penguins is...
And then we just go, fuck, dude, no way.
No fucking way. He said it. He said it. That's lit.
I guess.
And in Shrek, whenever he was like, hey, what's your name? I'm Shrek. It's like, what?
It's fucking great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you fucking are. Mike Myers. What is that accent?
Man, my favorite part of No Country for Old Men is when Tommy Lee Jones is talking to his dad at the end, and they're having a kind of somber talk about retiring. And Tommy Lee Jones kind of shrugs and takes a sip of coffee and goes, well, I guess this really was No Country for Old Men, huh?
Yeah!
And everybody goes, woo!
Fuck yeah. So you get the idea.
You get the idea. It's like that. It evokes that kind of sense
It occurred.
It occurred just now. So everyone leaves dying Charlotte behind, except Daniel, who loves dying Charlotte.
Wants to hang out.
Loves to hang out. Just wants to hang out. Just wants to chill. And so... before everyone takes off, Charlotte also just has a weird lucid moment and is like, look for the well. You'll find it at the well. You'll find what you're looking for at the well. And everyone's like, all right, whatever, Charlotte, weirdo.
I trust you.
Charlotte and Dan are talking, and they're basically like, just like, oh, you'll be fine. And Charlotte's like, I'm definitely dying. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And and Charlotte's like,
that's how she said it.
She said,
I'm definitely dying. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's
like
fine.
a bit of a diva moment. Yeah, exactly. It was so passive aggressive. Like, it's fine.
I'm glad everybody left, but it's fine.
Exactly. Don't worry about me. I'm just dying over here. And she has like the IV in her veins, and she's like all dramatic. She shaved her head. It's very weird. Very weird directorial choice by JJ. He's still directing at this point.
He's still directing every frame, and I'm so glad that he is. You can tell that the deft
the
touch.
Writer, director, producer, J.J. Abrams.
And star.
Yeah, he plays the smoke monster,
He plays the smoke monster. So the smoke monster is just him going, ah!
I think that's just his morning breath.
Dude, just eat a Tic Tac.
Eat a fucking Tic Tac, dude. It was all a big... commercial for Tic Tacs.
That's what it was.
Infomercial.
Yeah, that's the final season is the final confrontation is Jack Jack tricks Locke into eating an Altoid, and then Locke
Yeah.
goes, "Oh no!
Oh no!" And then Boone comes back,
Yeah.
and Shannon comes back, and all of Saeed's loves come back. Charlie comes back. Claire stops being crazy.
And everything's fine.
Yeah.
And then they all hang out.
Yeah.
They all play poker.
Oh, and that guy who said it's typhoon season, he comes back. Who he blew up, so they had to all of the pieces had to reassemble.
Yeah, he just kind of like it's all back together. That's the sound of him reassembling.
Oh, it's good stuff. I love that
it's
scene.
It's a satisfying scene that you love to see in your favorite television show.
So then what happens? I guess they go to the orchid?
I want to talk about what's her nuts dying.
Oh yeah, Charlotte.
First
Her
of all.
death.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it's a bit of a fun scene.
It's a bit of a fun scene because she's kind of talking to Daniel, and he's like, "Listen, Daniel, I got to quickly tell you my life story before I die. I was born and raised on the island, fun fact. And guess what? That's my whole motivation has been looking for the island, and I finally found it, but now I'm going to die here, and that's kind of a bummer.
Fuck.
It's not great. But listen, I just remembered something wacky. When I was very, very young, a very scary man came up to me and said, I have to leave and never come back here. And guess what? I'm pretty sure it was you, Daniel.
What?
What's the big idea?
What?
And Daniel's like, what the heck? I don't know. I don't remember doing that. Awkward. And then Charlotte dies.
She should have listened to him.
She should have listened to him. She shouldn't have come back. Why she only got to remember this now when she's dying and hurtling her mind through time?
Totally.
It's ridiculous.
It's sort of interesting because you would think she would have recognized that earlier.
Yeah, you think you would have gone on the freighter and been like, that guy looks like the fella who traumatized me back in the island days.
Yeah.
Instead, he's just like, well, he's a bit of a character.
Ain't he a handsome man?
His
His memory doesn't work, but that might be fixed.
Ain't he a tall stack of gravy?
Is that Eloise's son?
Is that Ellie's son? Is that the son of Ms. Hawking?
Is he a tall stack of gravy? Whoa! I just realized that Penny and Daniel are like sister brother, right?
They're sisters-in-law, I think.
In-law.
No, I think they're half sisters because they're both sons of Widmore.
Yeah.
They're both sons of Widmore.
Yeah.
Children of Widmore.
I guess Penny isn't Widmore's son.
Is Penny not Widmore's son? Penny's
No.
Widmore's son. Oh, Penny's Widmore's
daughter.
Penny's Widmore daughter.
Yeah.
Penny Widmore daughter.
I ain't no Whitmore's son.
It ain't me.
It ain't me. So she's dead. She's dead.
And Daniel's sad about it. And you know, Lost has a rich tradition of killing a lady so that a man can be sad. And you know what?
Did it again.
Lost, you son of a gun. We said to ourselves, "No, this is probably the last one, right?" And you know what? Nuh-uh.
Did they once kill a man so a lady could be sad?
Oh,
I guess they killed Charlie and Claire could be sad.
Yes, they have. So they have killed, but I feel like there was more resonance to Charlie's death than
Oh
that.
yeah,
There was more than just a man.
Than all of the other
sad.
ladies who, like Shannon,
Exactly.
Charlotte,
Like Charlie
all
died.
of Saeed's lovers.
Like Charlie died, like sacrificing himself for the greater good of the island, right?
Yeah.
And like transmitting one final message to Desmond, and that ends up being the linchpin for a lot of the season 4 goings on, right? Whereas Shannon dies and then Saeed is sad.
Yeah.
And that's all that is. I'm
Shannon and Boone were not interesting.
No, they weren't. I'm glad they're dead.
Yeah,
I'm
me
glad.
too.
I'm glad they had the good sense to kill him early.
Boone couldn't act.
Boone was not a good actor.
Yeah, it's too bad.
He was an actor from that era of like the whole cast of Lodge.
Lodge, I'd watch that.
I would too. It's such a like hodgepodge of like hyper good character actors and like washed up like melodrama actors.
Yeah.
Where like Matthew Fox is from an old teen drama. Like Boone's actor is clearly like cut from the same cloth as like the OC.
Yeah,
like,
he's just like a good-looking model.
Just like a handsome
dude.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can't act.
He can't. But you know what? He's not in this episode even for one frame.
That's true.
So what are we worried about him for?
I guess Boone died so a man could be sad. No, so a lady could be sad. So Shannon could be sad.
That's true.
That was the biggest one where that occurred.
Yeah, I think so. I think that you're right.
Yeah.
But Boone also died so that Jack and Locke could fight at his funeral.
Yeah.
And that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Anyways, I love it when characters die.
Me too. Kill another.
You know what? Knock another one off. Why not?
And they might by the end of this. Bum, bum, bum,
Bum, bum, bum. So, the rest of the gang, Sans, Dan, and Charlotte, make it to the Orchid. And they're like, well, thank goodness. We happened to be in the right time where the Orchid was built. The
Orchid goes away.
Orchid goes away through time, and they're back in the past or whatever. And they're just like, well, fucking foot and mouth disease, paging Dr. Dickhead.
Dr. Jack Shepard,
Oh.
a.k.a. Dr. Dickhead.
Dr. Dickhead. That's
Honestly, if my doctor was named Dr. Dickhead, I would probably get like quick and efficient medical service because I bet a lot of patients wouldn't want that doctor.
No, I feel like he's probably like the low-key quickest doctor around.
Yeah, because
No
it's
waiting
easy to get
Mhm.
Dr. Dickhead to
Yeah.
take a look at you because
Exactly.
everyone's like, I don't want a fucking dickhead looking at me.
He's probably he's probably a great doctor and he's just an asshole kind of.
Totally.
Really
Well,
just,
I
like-
mean, exactly. I
Like-
started watching House. That's literally what it should just be called, Dr. Dickhead.
How's House going, by the way?
It's awesome. I love that
How
show.
deep are you
He's
into
so
House?
mean.
He's
And it's
incredibly
also
mean.
it was a great reminder of how entrenched in like stereotypes and just like masculinity and femininity and just like sexism and things like that we were even just like 15 years ago.
Yes.
I guess that much of the world still is, but I just don't operate in a lot of that world anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting to see just like, especially just see like masculinity is a very important thing that's very easily threatened.
It really is like the whole every other character on that show exists to make House seem like a cool guy.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
And like nobody else on that show can really act. Is that am I misremembering that?
I think they can. I think the level of acting is on par with that of Lost.
Yeah, I'd accept that. Where it's like you have some people who are like giving killer character
Yeah.
acting performances and other people who are just handsome.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, that it does exist.
Okay.
But it's fine. I like it.
That's-
Mysteries. Mysteries. He solves a new medical mystery every week.
Yeah, I remember the Monster of the Week format was like something that I remember being like eaten the hell up.
Uh-huh.
And then whenever they do the one episode that's not the patient of the week, you're just like, whoa.
I didn't see that one yet.
Oh, baby. Well,
Gonna blow me away.
you're gonna get your friggin' head blown off by what it does.
Hose.
Oos.
Hose.
Hose. Dr. Hose.
Dr. Hose.
Fun-
Paging Dr. Dickhead.
Paging Dr. Dickhead. So they end up looking a little more, and guess what? Maybe the orchid's not there, but there's a well. There's a friggin' well, just like Charlotte said. How'd she know? Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. Locke says, well, I'm going to climb down this well, and that's my plan. And my plan is this. And everybody kind of like takes a second to like reassess the situation. Locke's plan is to go down the well and then somehow bring everybody back.
No one really knows what's going on.
Nobody
They
really-
all trust Locke.
They're all just like, they all completely don't understand, and they're all just like Locke seems like he knows what he's doing.
Whatever, Lockie Locke.
And Locke, like, while going down the well, is visibly like, I don't know what's down here. Guess I'll just figure it out. Whatever. They have a final conversation where Jin says, listen, whatever you do, if you end up meeting my wife, wherever you go, do not bring her back to this island. I swear to God, if you bring her back to this island, I'm gonna be so mad.
It's a bad place.
It's a bad place to
buddy.
be. You can't.
Tell her I died.
You can't. And maybe my favorite exchange in the episode is Locke says, "Well, no, I have to bring them all back. That's how it works." And Jin's like, "How do you know that?
Yeah.
How do you possibly know that?" And Locke
He's
does
like,
not
I
have
just know.
Locke he doesn't even pull that out. Locke just fully has no answer.
I don't know.
He's like, I don't know. Whatever.
I'm bald.
I'm-
Is that not enough for you?
And Jin's like, "Yeah, that's enough for me."
Yeah, baldness is a sign of intelligence.
Still,
That's why babies are so goddamn smart.
babies are the smartest around.
And also bikers.
Babies and bikers and Locke are the.
And Locke. Babies, bikers, and Locke.
They run the world.
Marry, fuck, kill.
Marry babies.
Marry babies. That's sweet.
Fuck Locke.
Oh.
Kill bikers.
Oh.
Except my dad. My dad stays alive.
Your dad's a biker?
My dad likes to motorbike.
Oh, that's cool.
My dad was telling me a good story about how he went motorbiking in Newfoundland.
Wow.
And went to like a bikers club in like rural Newfoundland.
Uh-huh.
Like not even, I don't think it was even like the St. John's Peninsula area.
Yeah.
Like rural ass Newfoundland. And like he basically like ended up having some bike trouble. And one of his one of like the local Newfoundland bikers was just like came through and just like gave him a new wheel.
That's crazy.
Just like
That's awesome.
Just like classic like story of like incredibly nice Newfoundlanders.
Biker Newfoundland. Nice.
Biker Newfoundland. I believe bikers are good except for the crime bikers.
The crime bikers I'm not on board with.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that you kill?
Yeah, those are the ones I can kill, I think.
I marry Locke. I fuck bikers and I kill babies. Sorry, babies. It's just
there's no good option with the babies.
Yeah, exactly. You can only marry or kill them.
Yeah.
Both of which are a little bit bad.
Pretty bad.
And you can't fuck them. You cannot.
You cannot.
No. And you would not. I wouldn't ever want to. I'll go on record saying that.
Yeah, I will openly state that in this hypothetical fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
I would never fuck babies.
Even in real life, I wouldn't.
No.
Oh. That's
awful.
Well, we got that out of the way.
Great. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got that set in stone.
Check that off the agenda.
Thanks. Thanks everybody for sticking with us through these trying times. So, Locke starts climbing down the well. Locke starts climbing down the well, and then it's time. It's time for time.
It's time.
It's time, baby.
Oh, you've had Tim Tams. You've heard of Tommy Tuna. You have, right? Now it's time.
Explain Tommy Tuna to me. If
You don't know Tommy Tuna?
Explain Tommy Tuna right now.
It's that old kids show. It's a little tuna fish that swims deep in the sea. But then one day he swims into a sewer pipe, and then he lives in the sewers with the alligators, and a little boy comes down and he jumps down. He's trying to find his soccer ball that he kicked into the sewer, and he falls and he meets Tommy Tuna, and he begins to converse with Tommy Tuna, and Tommy Tuna kills the boy and gets arrested, and it's like a murder trial. It's like a courtroom drama from there on out.
You had me going for so long. I was like, this. Yeah, that sounds like a show. I probably saw that on like YTV or PBS or some shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I probably didn't see a courtroom drama about a fish murdering a child.
It could be good though.
It could be good. Let me say, I would watch that.
I would watch that. That would be like the best pilot in the world.
Well, we just pitched it. Thank you, Tommy Tuna.
Yeah, JJ, if you're listening, if you need a new project.
If you need a new project, if Star Wars 9 is not really fulfilling not really fulfilling the creative muscles, then
I think he's off them now. I think he just did the first one.
No, he did 9.
He did 9?
They brought him back for 9.
Oh, did he just do the 2? I think a new person's coming in or something.
No.
Or maybe a new person did one of the spin-offs. I don't know.
JJ did 7. Ryan Johnson did 8.
Okay.
And someone else was going to do 9, but apparently 9's been kind of like troubled and weird.
Oh.
So they brought JJ back.
JJ's back. Okay.
JJ's back.
Good to know.
Oh, you know what it was? Oh, fuck. Maybe I'm getting this wrong, but it was
was it the Guardians of the Galaxy guy?
No, I don't think it was the Guardians of the Galaxy guy. I think it was the guy who directed the Book of Henry, which is like notoriously like we don't have time to get into the Book of Henry right now.
I don't know what that is. I'll look it up.
I hope I'm getting that right, because the Book of Henry is one of the most incomprehensible plots ever, to the point where it came out and it lost this man Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah. It was not just like bad. It was like one of the worst bizarre movies in recent
Maybe we can talk about that next time. 121 episodes on the Book of Henry.
Yes. You're going to watch The Book of Henry every season, every single week.
We'll just watch it with... The first time we'll watch it with both eyes open, then we'll wear an eye patch over our left eye and see if that changes things.
Then we'll wear an eye patch over our right eye. Then we'll wear eye patches over both of our eyes.
Yeah.
And then we'll leave it playing in another room. And then we'll play it on the exact point in the globe that is opposite where we are right now.
And then we can get our parents to watch it, and we'll just talk to them on the phone while the movie's going on.
Yeah. We're open to more suggestions as well.
The Book of Henry.
The Book of Henry.
Go out and see it. It's great.
Run, don't walk to the theaters and, and catch the Book of Henry, the story that made that one director get fired. I hope.
That's crazy. Cool.
Oh man. So time happens and the well disappears. Sawyer's just tugging on a rope now instead of a rope that has
tugger.
lock. And
that's why they call him. That's why someone goes, "Hey, rope tugger."
And he's like, "Shut up, my friend just died, maybe."
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm sorry, rope tugger."
Sorry, rope tugger. But tugging on that rope won't do much for you now.
And so he's like, "You're right. I gotta let go of this rope." And they stop calling him rope tugger. And it's really
and then all the characters from that little group, they go, "Bye, see you next episode."
They say, "So long." Thanks.
That's it for us.
Well, it's been a heck of a ride. We'll catch up with the rest of the gang, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. That'd be funny if they did that in shows.
That would be.
Like, well, that's it for us.
That's it for us. But I don't think that's it for Locke. And, of course, the people who are off of the island still have a little something for you. So why don't you just sit back and enjoy their escapades, and we will see you next week.
I would love that. I would watch that TV show every single week.
Yeah, because then it'd be nice, and they'd be like your friends.
Exactly. They would be like your friends.
It would be as if they were real friends of yours.
They would be mid-20s poor people who drink a lot.
Yeah, they would be. They were like, well, we're going to crack open this first PBR, and we'll see how we're doing once the rest of the gang is finished up with their plots.
When we all meet up at 1 a.m.
See you at the park. So, Locke has fallen down. Locke has broken his leg.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Big old bone coming out of that
bone
guy.
coming out.
And he's like, owie. And he's in a cave. There's no more well above him. It's just friggin' cave. Just cave all the way to the top.
Cave, rave.
Cave, rave. And he's raving at the cave. He says, owie,
ah!
owie.
Yeah, he yells a lot. It's cool.
He goes, owie, owie. Sawyer, are you there? And Sawyer's not there.
No, he's not there.
And you know who is there? Jack's dad, Christian Shepherd, comes through and says, hey, it's me.
Wow, Christian Shepherd.
Yeah.
I feel like I did put that together before, but I just put it back together.
We've had that conversation, and it's dumb every time.
It's crazy.
It's completely bonkers.
Christian Shepherd.
Christian Shepherd, and he comes along and he says, I'm Christian Shepherd. Get it? And
Locke's like, oh, that's a little funny.
That's a little funny. And so he says, hey, remember when I'm here to help you move the island. Remember when I said you got to move the island? It's got to be you, bozo. So come on over here, right over here. There's a wheel spinning around all wiggly. It's unhinged. So just get over here and do your thing. Locke says, I'm hurt. Can you help me up? Christian says, nope, can't. Can't do that, buddy.
What do I look like, a doctor?
I don't know shit about legs. Leave me alone.
I don't know shit about legs. It doesn't look good, but what do I know? I don't know anything, honestly. Don't listen. Mummified limbs are more my thing. Mummified detached limbs.
Yeah, take that leg off and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Then we'll start talking turkey.
Take that leg off and then we'll talk. I feel like that's like what Mr. Potato Heads say to each other when they're doing like business meetings.
Yeah, when they're negotiating.
Yeah, take that leg off, then we'll talk. Because he has like a leg in a funny place or something.
Well,
you know how it is.
Well, I'm thinking a hat where I would be. Well, listen. Well, I'll talk to my people, but they're pretty firm that you're going to have to take a leg off if you want to keep talking.
I would buy this toy. It would be so weird.
You mean
the one-legged hat where there's an eye?
Are you talking about Mr. Potato Head? You would buy Mr. Potato Head is what you're saying?
It's a weird toy.
It is a weird toy.
Hey, Christmas is coming up, fans. You know my address. Send them to me. Just Amazon Prime it. Don't worry.
My favorite part about this show is that we don't put up descriptions for the episode. We just print James Brown's address in full.
You know the address.
You know it.
Oh, God.
Look it up in your pod feeds.
It's in the liner notes. If you play our voices backwards, it always spells out my address.
It always spells out James Brown's address, and that takes some difficult audio engineering, but it's worth it every time, so that you know our address. There's no easier way to tell it to you.
Except there's no easier way.
And why wouldn't we tell you our address so that you could mail James Brown all the Mr. Potato Head?
Obviously. Oh, God.
I mean,
well, good to be back.
Good to be back. So James Brown. Not James Brown. That's
Sawyer.
you.
You're Locke.
You're James
Loesch,
Brown.
I'm James Brown.
You're not in the show.
Not yet.
Not yet. You'll get there. How wild would it be if on the 121st episode we watched, it was a James Brown episode?
I would believe that this show is actually good.
Yes.
I would believe that. If that occurred, I would fully take back every negative thing I've said. And I would tell people it takes a while to pick up. But when it does.
When it hits this one random episode, you're not going to believe it. That would be a great way to to like deflect criticism, at least with people who are James Brown.
Totally. Yeah.
Locke hobbles up, goes over to the wheel. Have we seen the wheel before? I think we've seen
the wheel before.
I think we've seen the end of this scene basically.
Yeah.
And where Locke is just hobbling up to the wheel and goes, and the wheel
pushes it.
The wheel is like flashing. It's kind of like jerking around, all weird. It's a wheel lodged in a thing, in a wall. It controls the island, I guess.
It's a big old wheel.
The wheel of time. Who knows? It's there. Sometimes the island has a wheel of time at its core.
Gotta be moved.
And you gotta move it to reset time. I
think we saw Ben move the wheel once.
Yeah, we've seen a flashback of Ben moving the wheel. Is what we've seen. Jack does it Locke does it. The light gets big and bright. Christian says, "Say hi to my son for me while you're out." And Locke says, "Who's your son?" And then boop, that's it.
That's it. That's the end of it.
That's it. But that's not the end of it. That's not the end of it.
We go to the off island.
We go off the island. Thankfully, there's not much to say off island.
It's pretty short.
It's pretty short. It kind of focuses on Sun, but not really.
Not really.
We open on Sun in a car. Takes a call from a flip phone from whoever's taking care of her baby.
Yeah.
I think this might be the only time we actually see Ji-yeon. There's the daughter of Jin and Sun. And she's there, and they're like, "Hey, when you're coming home, Mom, I miss you." And Sun's like, "Hey, don't worry, I'm still in L.A. and I'll be back soon. And I made a friend for you in L.A. His name's Aaron. You're gonna love him. Aaron's asleep in the back of the car.
Just in the back seat for no reason.
And they're like, "Anyways, gotta go. Bye."
Also, Kate isn't in the car right now.
Kate is not in the car. Kate is outside of the car with Jack, Ben, and Saeed.
That makes sense.
And they're chatting about Lord knows what.
Yeah.
Sun comes out with a gun. And
she's
says,
like, "Time to kill Ben.
I'm going to kill Ben right now, everybody."
Time to commence that scene that will be referenced 1,000 times.
Yeah, you know it, you love it. It's the Ben has a gun to his face and Sun holds the gun face.
I love that. They always call it that. It's the most efficient way to describe that.
Yeah, that's scene. Exactly. And I'm not
Ben has a gun to his face and Sun holds the gun.
And Sun holds the gun. It's just like, in showbiz, things move so fast.
Yeah.
You kind of have to like use a lot of abbreviations.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just it's a lot easier to say that. Like how the person who holds a camera is always called like the big fellow what holds the what holds the filming machine.
Yeah, big fellow what holds the filming machine.
Yeah.
Oh, true. Oh my god. And the boom microphone operator is the boom, 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 mic man.
and if you don't say it with exactly that cadence,
no one knows what you're talking about.
No one knows what you're talking about. Production grinds to a halt.
The wheel of time on production gets completely dislodged.
Suddenly the man what holds the filming machine.
They have to get the man with the bones sticking out of his leg to stand up and move the wheel of time in the production, and then you have to start over, and then they have to fire the director of Star Wars, get JJ back. It's a whole ordeal.
I mean, as long as we get JJ back, that's what's so important. God, I wish we had time to go into the Book of Henry. I also wish I remembered the details about the Book of Henry. That's the main thing.
You saw it?
No, I've just read synopses. And
it created quite a stir, I take it.
It was one of those where it's just like, "Hey, have you really heard of the Book of Henry? Have you really heard of the Book of Henry?" And people are just like, "What do you mean? Oh, wait, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I like that.
Sun has a gun to Ben's face, as we all know. And Sun's like, "I hate you. You're a jerk. I'm hardened by the loss of my husband Jin, and I'm out for only revenge against you, Benjamin Linus. So tell me why I shouldn't friggin' pop you right now, buddy.
Pop, motherfucker.
And Ben says, I'll tell you why. 'Cause Jin's alive, and I'll take you to him. There's a lady in L.A. who can help us get back to the island, and you can come back to the island, and all of you should come back to the island. Everybody is like, fuck that shit. Kate is like, out ASAP. Saeed is also like, I'm gonna kill any of you if I see you again, so bye.
Jack sticks around.
Jack sticks around.
And then Ben looks to Son and he goes, hey, you like bling? How about this ring? And he gives her Son's ring.
Yeah. And he's like, what the heck? This is...
Or Jin's ring.
This is Jin's ring. He's alive? And it's like, whoa, we get a nice scene where where Jin... Sorry, not Jin. Son, Jack, and Ben are being driven in a van. And they're all kind of like... And Jack is apologizing for something or other. And Son's like, you know... Son's still not quite sure that Jin is alive. He's not quite sold. She's not quite sold. And Jack's kind of like the only reason you're apologizing to me right now is so that I don't kill Ben right here, right now.
Yeah.
And Jack's like, and Jack says basically like, you know what? If Ben takes us to this lady and Ben can't get us back to the island, then I would be disappointed if you didn't kill Ben.
Hell yeah.
At which point Ben, upset father, pulls the van over. These are urgent times apparently, but he has time to pull the van over and destroy everybody and say, listen, if you guys knew what I've been doing to keep you and your friends safe, you would never stop thanking me. So why don't you so if you want to kill me, friggin' go ahead and do it. But we now or never. We don't have time to waste. We gotta go, baby. And it's an interesting scene.
It's a bit of a rip-roaring good time.
It's a bit of a rip-roaring good time. I like to see Ben not in control. I like to see him frustrated and
and mad and want to legitimately have people trust him.
And obviously that's to probably evil ends.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see that unravel, because so much of Ben's time on screen is just like, just as planned.
Totally.
I got captured, but it is all part of the grand
I'm right
scheme.
where I want to be.
I'm right where I want to be. So to see him just be like, you fucking guys, just
chill,
please,
come on,
just flying by the seat of his pants, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is cool.
So they arrive at a church.
Yep.
And Ben gives Son Jin's ring and says, here it is. And he's alive, and, you don't have to believe me, but it's now or never, so come into this church if you want to, or don't, but we're doing it now. And Son decides, well, I'm going to come in. Desmond shows up, too.
Yeah.
Desmond's like, oh, are you guys all looking for, you guys must all be here looking for Faraday's mother as well, huh?
And they're like, yep.
They're like, who's mom? What's a mom?
What is a mom these days?
The definition of motherhood is so... Oh, back in my day, and Jack starts doing a tight five that is very, very rooted in outdated concepts.
And it made sense though for the place where they were, in a parking lot.
Yeah,
you have that type of conversation.
Exactly. It's just like a natural. It felt like a very natural conversation. I
feel like the parking lot is the podium of the modern day.
It very much is and the church is the brick wall.
The church is the brick wall. Inside the mall, as they say.
Yes. They say that.
They do.
They like to say that.
I think I saw that on Tommy Tuna.
I saw that on Tommy Tuna, and you can see that on Tommy Tuna. Tune in. And turn your TV on.
Will he be convicted? I don't know. There's a couple fish on the jury.
Oh, boy.
Trapped in the net of justice.
Trapped in the net of justice. That's a tagline. Huh.
Bait. Something about bait.
Something about bait. Trying to think of something about evidence or something, we'll workshop
the
it.
Kid's name was Kevin, and some of the evidence is his remains, his actually mummified severed limbs.
Yes.
And they call it Kevidence.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's
bring in the Kevidence.
That's great. I like that.
And then they carry it in a casket. There's pallbearers and everything. And they're all named Paul.
Oh, Paul the pallbearer.
Yeah, bearers.
Paul?
All of them. There's 6 Pauls.
6 Pauls. Are there 6 bearers?
Yeah, so Kevin had 6 dads, all named Paul.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the son of a cult.
This is a tangled web.
It is, yeah.
This is I can tell that like this is what seems to be on the surface a simple an open and shut case is quickly going to be unraveled once the Kevin comes into play.
Yeah, you're goddamn right it is. It's all about that Kevinance. I don't think Tommy really did it.
I think you might have been. Even though that's the opening scene of the pilot.
You never know. Don't trust your eyes. Those are human eyes. Fish see different things. Plus, you gotta watch it with eye patches. Because if you were a pirate, you wouldn't think the same. If you had lived a life at sea, you know?
That's true. That's true. Your Honor, none of this jury has lived a life at sea. I have to request a retrial.
These are all land dwellers. How am I supposed to be judged by land dwellers?
All landlubbers, the lot of them.
The land-loving lot.
You got a factory packaged dozen of landlubbers.
Oh my God. Bread them and feed them to me. Because I eat people.
This is the trial of the millennium, dude.
It was incredible.
Oh man, oh man.
Dog.
I can't believe that the defense requested a retrial because none of the jury was pirates or fishermen, and then also declared himself a cannibal.
Yes.
This is a kangaroo court top to bottom.
No, don't call it a kangaroo court. It's not a kangaroo court. This is a legitimate practice.
If you say so. We'll see. We'll let the show speak for itself.
We'll let the show speak for itself.
Yeah.
So just come to my address. I'll be playing it. I'll be watching the show on the TV.
Oh my gosh. So they go into the church and they meet Daniel Faraday's mom, and Daniel Faraday's mom is there. And she's just like, is that all? Well, whatever. Let's get started.
Then the lost letters come.
And that's the episode. There's a lot to like about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of like fun, goofy moments.
I think it's less that I liked the episode and more that I liked talking about it. Because watching it, I wasn't crazy about it.
Yes. I think like even like the fun I think the best part of the episode is the monster stuff at the beginning.
Yeah,
because that felt very like
that
just
was
like
cool.
There was a lot of like unexpected stuff, and it was just like classic Lost in a sense, where it's just like, oh, these guys are stranded on an island and they don't know what the hell's going on,
and the danger is very immediate. It's very palpable.
All the flash forward stuff was just like there. It really didn't do anything for me at all. And also, yeah, the rest of the folks warping through time, like Charlotte dying didn't really have an impact. It was just kind of like, it was fine. It like didn't like offend me in any big way, but it was it was there.
It was what it was. It was season 5 Lost.
It was season 5 Lost. It was exactly what we expected of season 5 Lost. Some fun time travel shenanigans, and then some other stuff that's just kind of there.
Yeah, just sort of meaningless drivel sometimes.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Well, listen, I don't know about you, but me and the folks at Lostpedia think this episode raised a few questions.
I think so too.
And you and I being Lost experts at this point, we're hoping that you might have the answers to these.
I will try my darndest.
Well, listen, we're wondering what's inside of the hole under the temple wall.
I have no idea.
Well, you're telling me you don't remember that it's an underground passage that leads to the temple, and also that the flooring is also built directly above the monster's chamber?
No, I didn't even know the monster had a chamber.
I also don't think we've seen the monster's chamber. I'm
excited to find that.
I'm very excited to see the nameless child who is now a sentient pillar of smoke.
They should have named that kid.
They should have named him. Name your kid.
Name your goddamn kid. Don't just name one of your kids.
Don't just name one of your kids, and even if you die before you can name it, whoever adopts them,
name that kid.
Name that kid.
Totally.
It's your job now to name the kid. If you're gonna raise the kid, you owe the kid a name.
Totally, exactly.
What happened to Russo's team when they went into the tunnel, I'm wondering?
They got taken over by the smoke monster, I guess.
More or less. This is a very long-winded one with many bullet points because it does start with ambiguous. The only thing known for sure is that Montand died of his injury and was left in the tunnel.
Good.
That's all we know for sure. Something about infection, alternate speculation about the nature of the sickness. Yeah, a lot of bullshit.
Speculation of the nature of the sickness.
Well, I'm wondering if you can help me out about the origin of the well, though. You know the well.
Oh, I do know about the well.
Yes.
So the well, the smoke monster, before he was a smoke monster, he built this, he went into where the well is, and he built his contraption to harness the water and the light. And then the mother didn't like this and then, like, destroyed his place and made a well in its place.
That's pretty much it. The mother, I think, caved the well in.
Caved the well in?
Somehow. We don't know how. But, yeah, that's basically it. A nameless child wanted to channel some water and light, you know?
Yeah, he wanted to channel the water and the light.
And whomst amongst us, you know? You can fall in a well and you're just like, well, might as well...
channel the water and the light.
Y'all mind if I channel the water and the light?
And the mom was like, yes, I do.
I do mind. Son, I do mind. Why did Faraday tell a young Charlotte not to come back if he believes the past can't be changed?
Because he thought that maybe he was wrong, or he wanted her to not die. He's in love with her.
Effectively, yes.
If she dies, he'll be a sad man.
Yes, that is effectively what happens. Charlotte's death broke Daniel emotionally. This seems to be a catalyst which later drove him to change his theory of time, that the past can be changed.
Oh.
Why did Christian specifically tell Locke, not Ben, to move the island?
Because I don't know, actually.
This is a big one. This is a real take a seat and have a glass of whiskey handy for this one. Have a shot and a chaser ready for this one. Christian was actually a manifestation of the monster.
I know that.
He was improvising the conditions to get Locke killed, manipulating his faith and misleading him on how to save the island, telling him that his sacrifice would be necessary. Speaking of, first of all, great, just classic Lost right there. Love it. Second of all, I want to mention that when Christian and Locke are having this conversation, Locke says something along the lines of, like, you know, Jacob told me, or like someone told me, Richard told me that when I move the island, I'm going to die. Is that true? And Christian says, well, you know, I guess that's why they call it sacrifice. And is that how words work?
Yeah, I don't think that's how words work.
Well, that's why they call,
He didn't say there will be a sacrifice.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's yeah, he's like, what?
Like, no one called it sacrifice before.
Yeah, exactly.
You're calling it sacrifice.
You're calling it sacrifice right now. I didn't think it was a sacrifice till you mentioned it.
Yes, it is.
I guess it's a sacrifice now. This one's a bit of a spoiler for something we haven't seen yet, so I'll skip that one.
I love it.
And the rest, there's a self-implied one, which is, how did Charlotte know about the well? Because she grew up on the island, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Implied.
An implied one. And that is the questions.
That was great.
That was great, wasn't it?
Good questions.
Good questions, great answers. I love to think about questions and answers, and I love to just think about the whole of the show Lost. Speaking of the whole of the show Lost, there's quite a bit of it left, isn't there?
Oh, there are 48, 49 episodes left?
48-ish, I think. High 40s.
Well, let's watch another.
Let's throw another one on the pile.
I did 1 to 60 on random.org, and I got 10.
10. Oh, baby. 10. We are watching Season 1, Episode 14, and it's called Special. And it's a Michael and Walt episode.
Oh, I'm into this.
Yeah,
early Michael Walt. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. It's before Michael becomes a screaming man, and they're trying to be a family, and that seems fun to me. Hey, folks, thanks so much for listening to our show. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm Bean, and you can follow me at Barrier Trio. You can follow James Brown at James Brown. And you can also see what his goings on at at JamesBrown.space. all his goings, his other podcasts like Lovable Favorites, and you can. I don't know if there's Squad Laughs information on there.
I haven't updated it in a while, but I will. There will be. By the time you get to it, after you send me the Mr. Potato Head and whatnot, yeah, it'll be updated.
Yes, there's James Brown's address on there as well, in case you don't feel like reversing these MP3 files. We the show can be followed on social media: Facebook.com/the Island Shuffle, Twitter.com/Island Shuffle. For updates on when the heck we're gonna friggin' do any sort of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Some good lost content. On the Island Shuffle Twitter account, I recently made the decision to follow a bunch of Lost actors on it.
Good.
I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that up. I'm just curious what the very latest Lost actor tweet could possibly be. It's probably something very good.
Did you get Josh Holloway in there?
Oh, I don't know if he has a Twitter account.
What?
Let's see.
Hunk like him?
Josh Holloway. Oh, you know what? He sure does. And I'm not following him, and that's a mistake. Happy Thanksgiving. Here's a little throwback photo of me. Looks like I may have had too much fun. I passed out. # Happy Thanksgiving. And it's a photo of Josh Holloway as a baby.
That's a weird tweet.
6 days ago.
Weird.
Weird one, huh?
Yeah.
Bit of an odd one. Yeah, and the rest of the rest of my feed right now is unfortunately friends. The Lost actors don't really tweet a lot, but when they do, it tends to not be much of anything.
Yeah.
So.
Now you know.
Now you know the rest of the story. So. Is that everything? No, I have to shout out our Noisespace.xyz, the podcast network upon which we are hosted. Thank you, Matt, for hosting us, first of all. Second of all, please check out any of the other podcasts that are on there. There's a bunch. There's Fear Baiting. There's Jurgen It. There's City Girls Make Do. There's My Pod Cabbages. There's Giants Confirmed. There's Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. There's a lot of good shit on there. There's something for you, I'm sure. And you know what? It's all free of charge. You don't have to pay a damn cent for any of these podcasts.
Nah, you don't.
And they're all good to hear. So why don't you go listen to them? You don't have to. You should though.
You should.
You should. You don't have. You don't have to, but you will.
You will.
You will. Don't rest assured that you will.
You will.
That is officially the episode, I believe. Big one.
That's it. It was a good episode.
Good episode. Fun one.
Thanks for sticking through to the end.
Thank you as always. And like we say at the end of every episode.